Genesis chapter 43 verse 26. When Joseph came home, they brought into the house to him the present that they had with them and bowed down to him to the ground. Okay, so now Joseph came back. The steward most likely said, okay, Joseph is here. So all the gifts they prepared, now they bring it and they're bringing it to Joseph. And they bowed down before him. And what is now? 11 brothers bowing down to him. This is a fulfillment of the first dream. The 11, they are bowing down. Okay? The second dream was the sun and the moon. That still needs to happen. It's going to happen. But this is now another parcel. Now this is a fulfillment of the dream. Verse 27. And he inquired about their welfare and said, is your father well? The old man of whom you spoke, is he still alive? Right? So, yeah, here he is, and now they're asking about the father again, the welfare, like before, but this time is he still alive? So, I mean, the brothers by now, not that they thought this is Joseph, sure, but it all have to be even more strange and getting stranger by the minute to them. Of asking about is this old man still alive? So what the heck? Why would he really kind of bother? Verse 28. They said, your servant, our father, is well, and he is still alive. And they bowed their heads and prostrated themselves. So they answer, yes, he's still alive. He's your servant. Okay, right? So that's interesting as well. He's your servant. Remember the dream. We will be your servants? No way. Our father bow in front of you? No way. Now they are saying, yes, our father is your servant. He's not there bowing down yet, but that's as well fulfillment of the dream. And he's alive, and they bow down to him. They prostrated themselves before Joseph. What they said will never happen. Now it's happening. It had to go through slavery. It had to go through a prison. God kept his word. God was with Joseph. The dream came true. Jesus will come back. Verse 29. And he lifted up his eyes and saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's son, and said, is this your youngest brother, of whom you spoke to me? God be gracious to you, my son. So now he saw Benjamin. Benjamin would have changed quite a lot because Benjamin most likely was a teenager. Well, not most likely, he was a teenager. Maybe even not even 10 years old by the time Joseph left. So he would have changed a lot. Unlike the brothers, he would have changed a lot. So you're asking, is this the one you spoke of? God be gracious to you, my son. Verse 30. Then Joseph hurried out, for his compassion grew warm for his brother, and he saw the place to weep, and he entered his chamber and wept there. Joseph, the emotions, the previous chapter was full of emotions. In this chapter we again have lots of emotions. Like with Jacob, with Israel, sending him out, trying his best to not let it happen. Right? Bereavement, if here Joseph speaking with Benjamin, he could not keep it. He had to flee. He had to leave because he was weeping because of seeing Benjamin. So he went out. Then he washed his face. He entered his chamber. He wept there. How long we don't know. It's not important. These guys had to wait. Joseph is the second in command. They would wait. Even doesn't matter how hungry they are. They would wait. They had to wait. Verse 31. Then he washed his face and came out. And controlling himself, he said, serve the food. So he took water, right? Lots of water around here. And now he let the servants serve his brothers. Verse 32. They served him by himself and them by themselves. And the Egyptians who ate with him by themselves. because the Egyptians could not eat with the Hebrews, for that is an abomination to the Egyptians. Okay, so yeah, just a point made here of how everything went. They weren't all one room eating together, and there were other Egyptians as well. So Joseph was not just alone with his brothers. There would have been other, according to this text, Egyptians, not only his servants, but other highly placed people there as well. But they did not eat all together. So the brothers, 11, ate together. Joseph on his own ate together. The Egyptians ate together. Why? Because it was not accepted for the Egyptians to eat with the Jews. They are below them. They could not eat with them. The same way how they ultimately will end up living in a different part of the country because of the kind of job they did, the herdsmen they were. Okay, so this is how it was. Years later on, we know Jesus with the Samaritan woman at the well. That's unacceptable. They would cross over the Jordan, walk on the other side, and then come back to not go through Samaria. They would not eat with the Gentiles. We know what a big problem it was. Here, the Egyptians had the same thing with the Jews. We don't eat with them. Okay, so just an interesting cultural thing, historical point being made, which was true, which is true, which put it as well in that time frame. Verse 33. And they sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men looked at one another in amazement. So it's like Joseph had them orderly put in their birth order. Joseph never asked who's the oldest, right? And they were amazed. How does this guy know who are the oldest? Like, here comes Reuben, then Simeon, then Judah, Levi. Why in that order? How could he have known? It's one thing if with 3 in the correct order. In chances pretty well you might get 3, you can look at their faces and determine. But these guys were all born in a very near to each other in age-wise. And they're already older, so they would look a lot in age. You're not going to really be able to tell the difference. Yeah, Benjamin, he knew. But the rest, no way. So they were amazed. How did they know? Verse 34. The answer to that, understand, in the next chapter. We know the answer. Joseph, because Joseph knew. Verse 34. Portions were taken to them from Joseph's table, but Benjamin's portion was 5 times as much as any of theirs. And they drank and were merry with him. Okay? So they took from Joseph's table, so in other words, the best. They were, through the years of famine, used to the worst. Like I already mentioned, they were rationing the food because they could not go back. So they would have lost a lot of weight in between. Now here they are at the table and they eat the best of Egypt. Remember the baker saying about all those number of different kinds of breads they had? They had more than 50 different kinds of bread. And they are now feasting on this after rationing themselves. Okay? It must have been a big thing. Huge thing. And Benjamin, he got 5 times bigger a portion. Okay, now, yes, sure, the fish eating me again here. The fish feasting on my feet, old skin feet here. Okay, like they would. Okay, feasting on his food. Wow! And Benjamin got so much more then, because Benjamin is not the previous time he didn't go with, so that explains partly. And because Benjamin was his full brother, Benjamin didn't sold him into slavery, didn't sell him into slavery. So he drank and they were merry with him. Now, sure, they were not in the same room because they were not allowed. They were separate from each other. Okay? Joseph in general would have eaten separate from the others because he's Joseph after all, he's second in command. So separate. But they knew, they all knew they're like kind of together. They were having the obliques, asterisks and obliques feast there in the end. Not holding back. A lot of food. And this is how the chapter ends. After all the sad endings of all the other chapters, now you have a great ending. Eating together like Laban with Jacob years before. A great feast. But there's still that question lingering. How did he know to put us in this order? Somewhere there is still a question. How? What is going on? What is going on? And as well, understandably, in the back of their minds, their father is waiting for them. They can't send an SMS, call him quickly, video call, and show them all this feast they're having. No. So they were still, although there's Mary, and they're drinking, and they're not being sold as slaves, there was still a lingering question. How? How did they know to put him in such an order? Thank you. Beautiful!